Hey, what is up guys, it is Jake here and welcome to another speed paint video. Now sorry this one is pretty late. I completely forgot to edit this video numerous amount of times. And yeah. So this speed paint is pretty basic. Basically what I wanted to do was to test out the drawing gum that I got with my to use with watercolors, but then I forgot to use it. Basically. So yeah, I did this drawing pretty quickly, like I think an hour and a half for the entire thing. And that's a thing that I'm kind of like kicking myself in the butt for, is I'm really not spending a lot of time on my art anymore. I'm like kind of rushing everything. Like I used to spend like 5-6 hours on drawings usually, and now I just spend like so little time. Like they still turn out okay, but I mean they really aren't like the top-notch pieces I can do, except for one which I've spent already like I think 13 hours on, which is the digital painting. I am somewhat close to finishing it, but not close. Basically, there's still a lot of work to do on it. So basically, the idea behind this drawing is I've done a sketch about like 5 months ago when I bought my Moleskine sketchbook with the Moleskine Watercolor Sketchbook, and basically I drew this girl to just test out like the color race for sketching, and I just did this girl randomly when I was waiting for actually when I was going to an eye appointment. So yeah, I was just like waiting, and I decided to pull out my sketchbook and sketch her out. And I really liked the pose and the way like her colors turned out, so I decided to redo her. But the thing is, the colors didn't really turn out the same way. The way it was in the sketchbook, it was really light, pale, pastel colors, like pastel pink, purple, very light pink-ish skin tone. And I ended up going darker, but I still like the way it ended. Like the first layer actually is pretty much like the right color, but I ended up darkening it up a bit too much and smudging it a lot with my fingers. Now here, going in to shade, I started off with just like a purple to shade with it, and then I ended up adding a lot more blue later on, yeah, right here, and that's when it started to get a little bit too dark and muddy. And also for some reason I forgot to blend how to blend with watercolors. Well, I guess I'm still kind of new to this Van Gogh palette. Usually, like, it was easier to do with the Winter Noon one because they were just so light colors, so I guess it just blended easier, but these ones are just so pigmented and like deep colors that I guess I didn't water them down enough for them to actually act like watercolors. But yeah, doesn't matter. Doing the I guess pants, one leg being, well, I guess that's another part that I kind of screwed up, is I didn't really pay attention to my light source. Well, I sort of did actually, because the light source was supposed to be coming from the left. I made the right leg lighter than the left one, but I fixed that later because I actually went over the piece with colored pencil to smooth everything out, because it didn't really turn out good with watercolors. Yeah, here I'm pretty much like adding another layer of the pink over the entire dress to at least even it out. Now going to the skin tone. To make the skin tone, I don't have like an actual pan to make the skin tone. So basically what I do is I mix yellow ochre with a like pinkish red, and then I lighten it up with a white until with a lot of white until it turns out the way I want it to. And yeah, the first layer was fine, but then I decided to shade it with blues, and purples would have actually worked better. Well, no, actually it would work with blues, but it's just that for some reason the skin tone would wash, like completely wash off or lift off when I was applying the blue, and then I tried to blend it and it just didn't work, basically. See, early on it's pretty much a mess, but that's also partially due because me not outlining the piece, because usually I'm used to working like right after I finish a sketch I ink it and then I go into the like coloring. But this kind of just threw me off because it's so like still kind of out of my comfort zone. It would look nice if I just worked a bit better on it. Yeah, here I didn't want to waste my all my white from the palette because for some reason the pan was just like going very like, well, it was just digging into the white, even though I didn't use it much. Like, I didn't use the palette much. I pretty much used it like 3 times. But yeah, so I decided to bring out the wrong palette, I should say. Like, I had the intention of using that palette, but pretty much was the wrong choice. Because the Kurtake watercolors are like wash-like mixture. When you use them, they're like really thick and creamy. And yeah, kind of made her face look weird for quite a while. Anyways. And here I go with the outline using the Zig Clean Color brush in natural gray, and I absolutely love this. Like, I have the Pentel brush pen, but I'm just so bad with it, and it's kind of hard for me to get the results that I want with a brush pen. But this one is like, the brush is actually a bit smaller and it's actually easier for me to control. But the only problem with it is that it's a water-based pen, and that means I can't really like use it as initial ink, or else it'll just blend with like Copic markers, watercolors, anything like wet, pretty much. It could work with colored pencils if you aren't using any solvents. So yeah, adding the line art pretty much like really helped bring the piece together and actually gave me hope to finish it, because when I first looked at it without the outlines, I was like, oh good god, what is this? Like, I actually had the intentions of completely restarting this piece, but I decided not to because it ended up coming along. So that is why you should never give up on a piece. I'm just using the brush pen to add a small arm tattoo and signing the piece, but I decided to go back over it a bit later on with... Oh my god, my mouth is so dry. I need to drink some water before doing voiceovers. But yeah, after this, like, I thought I was done here. So here I'm adding some gouache and doing like some splotchy colors just for background, and then I'm gonna go over with colored pencil to change the color of the hair, because it was just too similar to the skin tone and I didn't really like it. And also adding some highlights and shadows. And here I'm using the Gamsol odorless mineral spirits to blend out the colored pencil. You can also use like the Prismacolor colorless blender, which I've used like a few months before actually buying the solvent, and it worked quite well with pretty much any pencils that I tried it on. It works obviously well with Prismacolors and even with like Faber-Castell Polychromos, which I was kind of surprised because they're oil based and I didn't think that a wax based pencil could do such a thing. But yeah, it worked. One thing is that it doesn't blend as smooth as the solvent, but It's a good and cheap alternative, and less messy too. So yeah, the video is pretty much coming to an end. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll leave you to the music, with the music, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.